Welcome to First Parish Unitarian Universalist of Northborough. We Unitarian Universalists are a non-creedal, religiously liberal faith tradition. We hold in our worship and in our faith formation that each individual and each community will explore a wide and varied set of beliefs and ideas that encourage us to live life as a spiritual journey, deepening our connections to compassion, justice, and understanding of eternal truths. Today we welcome Reverend Jane Thixton as our guest minister. Reverend Jane is a retired UU minister living in Rindge, New Hampshire, and she also works at the Monadnock Ledger Transcript as a marketing consultant. As part of her 23-year ministry, she served congregations in Michigan, New Hampshire, Georgia, New York, and Pennsylvania. Since we are a community of multiple locations, let's take a moment to greet one another by waving to those online and to those around you. And we will now ring our chime to call us into this sacred time of worship.
Welcome, everybody. Great to see you. Great to be here. My opening words are adapted from Sue Eyre on the Worship Web. Spirit of life and love, we have come in search of understanding, in search of community, We have come in search of hope and healing. Let this be a place not only of searching, but of discovery. Let this be a place not only of learning, but of wisdom. Let this be a place not only of meeting, but of connection. And let this be a place where healing fosters giving and hope fosters service. This is our hope, that we may create here a circle of love, ever expanding, ever growing, as we seek justice, equity, and compassion for all. And we'll light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both warmth and light to the world. Let's sing our opening hymn. It's number 407. We're going to sit at the welcome table. And please rise in body or in spirit. Be seated. So, for all those kids here today, all those young at heart, no matter what color their hair, I got a little story. I guess you at home can see me too, can't you? Even though I can't see you. So this is called Let's Read About Martin Luther King Jr. by Courtney Baker, and illustrated by Cornelius Van Wright and Yin Hua Hu. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He lived with his parents. He had an older sister and a younger brother. Martin's father was a minister. Martin grew up listening to his father speak in church. The people at church liked the way Martin's father spoke. They sang and clapped. Martin knew the people in church. He lived near them. He went to school with them. He saw them on the street. Sometimes Martin went to the city with his family. He saw signs that said, "Whites only," at the park and at the movies. The signs meant that Martin and his family could not go to those places. Martin felt that black people should be able to go to the same places as white people. When he was 6, he had a friend who was white. They liked each other and they played together. But soon, the boy's parents said they did not want their son to play with Martin any longer. Martin felt very bad. He said he was sad that he had to stop playing with his friend. That day, Martin's mother told him, "You're as good as anyone else, and don't you forget it." Martin felt better. He knew that the boy's parents did not really know him. If they had, they would have seen how nice and how smart Martin was. When he was 8, Martin worked as a newspaper boy. He was very good at his job. Martin used the money he earned to buy books. He read about people who fought racism. Racism is the idea that people who are different colors are not equal. Martin thought that all people were equal. He wanted to fight racism too. Martin became a minister like his father. Martin gave speeches and talked about equality. He traveled to speak to church groups and to large crowds. He spoke to a crowd of 250,000 people in Washington, D.C. He spoke about his dream for the future. "I have a dream," Martin said, "that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Some people did not like what Martin was saying. Most people did. Martin helped to change the way people thought and acted toward one another. Today, many people remember his dream and try to make the world a better place for everyone.
The sharing of personal joys and sorrows is the ritual of connection observed.
I invite you now to join me in a moment of prayer or meditation. Please settle in a little more comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish. Allow your body to just relax into this sacred space or your sacred space at home. Breathe in deeply and breathe out slowly. Breathing in compassion. Breathing out peace. We come from many different places, many different perspectives. We represent different genders, different races, different sexual orientations, different ages, different physical abilities, and different theologies. And we differ in countless other ways as well. We are bonded in our common humanity and our common existence upon the earth. But let us not forget that we do not have to be the same to love one another. May we stand together in our differences. May we listen to the voices that don't sound like ours, even when we don't like what they're saying. May we seek to understand others who are different, finding beauty precisely in their differences. Enriching the music of our soul with their harmonies, knowing that their voices need not drown out our own, but that all our voices are essential to the blessed chorus. And let us pause for a few moments of silent reflection.
Our financial offering each week is shared between the general operating fund of this church and a designated nonprofit organization. For the month of January, we set aside half the plate to the network advocating against domestic violence. May we continue to be as generous as we are able. The offering for the work of this congregation and the work of your discretionary fund will now be greatly received and we hope gratefully given. Our reading today is called I Too by Langston Hughes. It's from a collection called The Dream Keeper and Other Poems. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am. and be ashamed. I, too, am America.
What a treat. Thank you very much. What nice harmonies. I, too, am America. I am the gay brother. In many places, I still can't walk down the street holding hands with the one I love. We can at least now get married, but we can still be discriminated against in finding work and housing. People justify discrimination, injustice, and even violence against us by holding up the Bible. I, too, am America. I am the Asian sister. My great-great-great-grandfather came over to build the railroads. My family has lived in this country ever since, But because of my features, people still see me as foreign. Since COVID, I have been blamed for the disease and attacked. I too am America. I am the imprisoned brother. I committed a crime, but I have turned my life around and I have done my time. I've paid my debt to society, yet this will follow me wherever I go, like the Scarlet Letter or the Mark of Cain. I too am America. Tomorrow we celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. We celebrate his birthday because he was such a strong leader in the civil rights movement, because he did so much to advance the cause of equality for people of African descent, because he fought for those rights through nonviolent means, because he turned hearts and minds around, changed perceptions, led us to higher ground. King is best known for his efforts on behalf of Blacks in this country, but by the end of his tragically short life, he was expanding the focus of his efforts to be more inclusive. If he had lived longer, who knows what minorities' causes he would have lifted up. Well, King may be gone, but the civil rights movement continues. In the past few years, we have seen something of a revival of the movement. We have to make sure to add our voices, to make sure to keep the movement alive. The work is not done. It is not done until everyone feels welcome to sit at the table. Meanwhile, our country gets more and more diverse. People are immigrating from countries that weren't well represented in King's time, and populations that were mostly hidden in King's time are coming out in the open, like gay, lesbian, and transgender people, like people with handicaps or developmental difficulties. The way we continue King's legacy is to attempt to embrace all this wonderful diversity, to welcome everyone to the table and to try to understand each other, to make sure everyone is treated with respect, make sure everyone's needs are met. I am the native sister. My nation was here before the white men came and took away our land, our livelihood, and even our religion. People live in poverty, and many of my brothers are addicted to alcohol. It has been such a struggle to hold on to our identity all these years against a culture that wants to swallow us up, make us disappear, and take what little we have left. I am spit on and called names. I, too, am America. I am the brother with mental illness. My disease makes it hard for me to relate to people sometimes. It makes it hard for me to be consistent and reliable, and I have a hard time holding a job. People look down on me. I, too, am America. I am the sister in a wheelchair. I can't go everywhere I'd like because of the barriers. I sit in a world of standing people, and it sometimes feels like people are looking down on me in more ways than one, if they even look at me at all. I, too, am America. So, how do we embrace diversity? How do we work for justice for minorities, for people whose needs may not be getting met, for people who may be different from us in some way? The first step is to seek to understand what their issues are, what their needs are, what their feelings are. A friend shared a story with me recently, and she swears that it's true. The story goes, several years ago, two friends happened to meet at a time when the man was carrying a large, obviously healthy-looking plant. The woman admired it, and he said, "Here, why don't you start one of your own?" and broke off a sprig of the plant and gave it to her. "You don't even have to put that in water," he said. This plant grows so easily, you can just stick that in some dirt and it will grow." So she took home the piece of the plant he had given her, and she stuck it in a pot of dirt and gave it a drink. Later in the week, she looked at it and thought, maybe it'll grow faster if I give it some plant food. So she did that. Whenever it seemed to be dry, she watered it, and occasionally she gave it some plant food. So the plant didn't die, but it didn't grow either. So one day she ran into the man who said, "How's your plant doing?" "Well," she said, "I've watered it, I've given it plant food. It's okay, I mean, it's still alive as far as I can tell, but it's not growing. I don't know what to do next." And the man said, "Why don't you ask it what it wants and then listen for its answer?" She was sure she was going to feel a little silly doing this, so she waited until she was sure there was no one else around. And then she asked the plant what she could do for it, what it would like, and then she listened. And in her listening, she became sure that she had somehow heard the word coffee. Now she really did feel silly, but nevertheless, she made a cup of coffee, cooled it down to room temperature, and poured it in the pot with the plant. Within 3 days, the plant had begun to put out new shoots, and by the end of 2 weeks, it was beginning to take up the whole pot. The key to understanding is listening. Withholding judgment, we listen to what people or plants are telling us. We may be trying to give someone water when what they really need to thrive is coffee. We may be trying to help someone provide for their needs, but we can fall into the trap of thinking we know what their needs are without asking, without listening, without understanding. I am a poor brother. I didn't have any advantages growing up, and I didn't make it through school. I work hard, but at minimum wage, I can't afford to support my family. I don't dress well, I don't use good grammar, and I can feel the scorn of better off people. I, too, am America. I am the atheist sister. It has always been hard to be an atheist in America, but it feels like it's getting harder in recent years. Some people seem to think that if you're an atheist, you must be a bad person, and they don't understand that it's the force of my strong conscience that requires me to express the truth I see. I, too, am America. I am the evangelical Christian brother. I feel like people look down on me for believing. My faith has turned my life around, yet when I try to share the good news, I feel stifled. Heck, I can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. I, too, am America. How far do we challenge ourselves to look through the eyes of others? Are we willing to walk in their shoes for a while to see what it's like to be in their world? My mother was visiting over the holidays a while back, and even then she couldn't walk any distance anymore. So we went to an outlet mall and we got a wheelchair for her. As anyone who's ever pushed a wheelchair or driven one, or even had to deal with crutches, I guess, can tell you, you suddenly become aware of the world in a different way. I noticed how far out of our way we had to go to get to the ramp, to get up the side and get onto the sidewalk from the parking lot in this outlet mall. And in one of the stores, the clothing racks were so close together, we could only stick to the main path. It was a very different experience with a wheelchair, much more limited. And when I was in seminary, I worked part-time at the University of Chicago as a programmer analyst, and I became friendly with a woman I worked with there, an African-American woman named Memory. Memory invited me to her church, where mine was just about the only white face in a sea of black faces. The people dressed differently than what I was used to. The women were all decked out in their Sunday best, complete with hats. And the colors, beautiful. And the worship style was very different from what I was used to, too. They were clapping and singing for hours, it seemed. Then the preacher got up and started speaking, and they yelled out, "Amens," and "Say it, brother," and other affirming exclamations. He got all worked up, and they seemed to be with him. I wasn't. Though I was appreciative and non-judging, I still felt like an outsider looking on. Though after 20-some years in ministry, I have come around. Wouldn't mind an amen or a right on, sister, now and then. I am the Latina sister. My English isn't so good, but that doesn't mean I'm stupida. I struggled to make my way here, to have access to all the advantages that America has to offer. I was born here, yet I am often treated like a foreigner. I, too, am America. I am the blind brother. I hear things you never notice. I am much more capable than you may imagine, but I am still at a disadvantage getting around in a world of sighted people. There are many limitations on my abilities. Some are inevitable, but many can be overcome with technology and understanding. I, too, am American. I am a gender fluid person. All I want is to express myself as I know myself to be, but people want to put me in a gender box and keep me there. They think I am a freak because I don't conform to their ideal or their idea of what male and female are. I, too, am America. It's one thing to invite others to sit at our table. It's quite another to go sit at theirs. This is taking diversity to the next level. Instead of just including others under our umbrella, this requires us to feel what it's like under somebody else's umbrella. This is how we really start to challenge our comfort level, to test our acceptance, and to gain some real understanding. Unitarian Universalists have been struggling with this. We are great at opening up our doors and saying, "Come in, everybody, you're welcome here. Everyone's welcome here." But we expect them to fit into our world when they come. How willing are we to let others change our world? How far are we willing to go to sit with them where they are? These are the challenges we face as we continue to seek to fulfill Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream in the 21st century, as we seek to create an America where everybody is equal and respected and getting their needs met. An America that is enriched beyond measure by the music of all the different voices and the beauty of each and every unique face. I too am America. I am the Unitarian Universalist sister. I am aware that for all my good intentions, I sometimes fall short in my understanding of people who are different from me. My goal is for everyone in America to sit at the same table where we will all look around at each other and see how beautiful we all are. And then nobody need be ashamed. I too sing America. Let's all sing together number 121 in the Gray Hymn Book, We'll Build a Land. Please rise in body and or in spirit. Please be seated. We have a calling in this world. We are called to honor diversity, to respect differences with dignity, and to challenge those who would forbid it. We are people of a wide path. Let us be wide in our affection and generous in our efforts for justice. May we find the courage to live our faith, to speak our truth, and to strive together for a world where freedom abounds and justice truly does roll down like water. So may it be. Amen, and go in peace.